while the other dragon seeds from George R. Martin's Fire and Blood book are included. It seems that House of the Dragon has cut the fan-favorite character Nettles from the show entirely. Considering she plays quite a big role even outside the Dance of the Dragons battles and being at the sewing in the book, Nettles' absence isn't a small change to make within House of the Dragon's story. Additionally, regardless of her narrative importance, Nettles' absence rids the show of the best character to expose the Targaryens' lie about who can ride dragons. In finding a solution to Team Black's possession of dragons but lack of riders, Rhaenyra and Jaehaerys decide to test the claim that only Targaryens with thick Valyrian blood can ride dragons. They first try it with Sir Steffon Darklyn, a descendant of Princess Aeriana Targaryen, but he's fatally burned during his attempt. However, Corlys Velarion's bastard son Adam of Hull successfully claims sea smoke, with the Targaryen bastards Hugh Hammer and Ulf claiming Vermithor and Silverwing soon after. The requirement of being a dragon lord is thus disproven, but Nettles would have questioned the Targaryens' dragon-riding claims further. When Hugh Hammer and Ulf joined House of the Dragon Season 2's cast of characters, there was hope that Nettles would soon follow suit with a surprise appearance. In George R. Martin's Fire and Blood book, Nettles is one of the dragon seeds who takes up Queen Rhaenyra's call for people to attempt to claim their dragons on Dragonstone. She's described in Fire and Blood as a bastard of uncertain birth called Nettie, who was black-haired, brown-eyed, brown-skinned, skinny, foul-mouthed, fearless, and only 16 years old. Alongside Adam of Hull, Hugh Hammer, and Ulf, Nettles is one of the 4 dragon seeds who successfully claim a dragon during the sowing. However, she isn't included in the sowing during House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 7's ending, suggesting Nettles may not be included in the HBO adaptation at all. While it had previously been speculated that House of the Dragon cut Alicent and Viserys' son Prince Daeron Targaryen, he's confirmed to appear in the show's future. Consequently, there's still hope for Nettles to have a delayed introduction. In addition to her absence at the sowing, the evidence that House of the Dragon has likely cut Nettles relates to her dragon's story already being changed from the book. In Fire and Blood, Nettles claims the wild dragon sheepstealer, who resided in a lair on Dragonstone. Nettles ended up feeding Sheepstealer with freshly slaughtered sheep each morning, winning the dragon's favor prior to her attempt to claim it. This isn't the case in House of the Dragon, as it now seems that Sheepstealer lives in the Vale and will be claimed by Rhaena Targaryen instead. If so, that also means that Rhaena Targaryen, not Nettles, will join Team Black's dragon riders who fly into battle for the Battle of the Gullet and the fall of King's Landing. In the book, Daemon's younger daughter largely remains at the Vale with Lady Jean Arryn, with Rhaena's dragon egg eventually hatching into Morning, a pink-scaled dragon who is one of the last to hatch before the Targaryens' dragons die out. As such, it seems that Rhaena Targaryen is effectively taking Nettles' place in Queen Rhaenyra's army. Nettles is the one character who challenges the idea only Valyrians can ride dragons. Nettles didn't claim to have any Valyrian blood when bonding with Sheepstealer. After Hugh Hammer claimed Vermithor and Ulf claimed Silverwing, the notion that a Targaryen must be a true-blooded dragon lord to claim a dragon is officially debunked. Additionally, Adam of Hull bonding with Seasmoke disproves the claim that only those with direct Targaryen blood can claim a dragon, as he isn't known to have any Targaryen ancestors through his mother, Merilda of Hull, or father, Corlys Velaryon. Had House of the Dragon included Nettles, the Targaryens' conception of what is required to ride dragons would have been challenged further. Dragon seeds in Fire and Blood. Character: claimed dragon. Alleged Valyrian ancestor: Adam of Hull. Seasmoke: Corlys Velaryon. Hugh Hammer: Vermithor. Princess Sarah Targaryen. Ulf: Silverwing. Prince Balon Targaryen. Nettles: Sheepstealer. Uncertain. Unlike the other dragon seeds, Nettles was the only character who could have proven that one doesn't need Valyrian blood to ride a dragon. Rhaenyra is convinced that Adam has the blood of old Valyria in him when seeing that Seasmoke was drawn to him. And this happens to be true. Adam, Hugh, and Ulf all possess the blood of old Valyria. Adam of Hull is the bastard son of Lord Corlys Velaryon, Hugh Hammer is the bastard son of Princess Sarah Targaryen, and Ulf is allegedly the bastard son of Prince Balon Targaryen. Given the uncertainty of her birth and the lack of any known connections to old Valyria, Nettles would have posed the biggest challenge to the idea that Valyrian blood is required to ride dragons in House of the Dragon. Meanwhile, despite claiming sheep-stealer, Nettles wasn't thought to have any Valyrian blood in Martin's book. This isn't to say that she certainly didn't have any Valyrian heritage in Fire and Blood. There's just no way of knowing. Fire and Blood never included who her father was or any rumors about her being the bastard daughter of a Targaryen or Velaryon. Still, given the uncertainty of her birth and the lack of any known connections to old Valyria, Nettles would have posed the biggest challenge to the idea that Valyrian blood is required to ride dragons in House of the Dragon. Nettles' appearance likely depends on how much HOTD changes Rhaenyra's story. Nettles is one of the most interesting non-Targaryen characters in the Dance of the Dragons, with her story also giving Fire and Blood one of its greatest unsolved mysteries. While some details would certainly need to be changed if the teenage dragon rider were included, such as her rumored romance with Daemon Targaryen, she still offers an exciting opportunity for the show given what happens to her during the dance. Not to mention, Nettles is also one of the few major black characters in the Dance of the Dragon story unrelated to Valyrian nobility. In the book, Nettles also shares an intriguing storyline with Daemon Targaryen during the dance, as Nettles and Sheepstealer join Daemon and Caraxes in the Riverlands as they hunt down Aemon Targaryen and Vhagar. Fire and Blood sources claimed that Daemon would dote upon Nettles like one of his own daughters, perhaps helping him recognize his failures in being a largely absent parent to Baela and Rhaena after their mother's death. Nettles would later flee Harrenhal with Daemon's help, as Rhaenyra had ordered her death after the betrayals of the Dragonseeds, Hugh Hammer and Ulf. After that time, Nettles and Sheepstealer were never seen again, leaving their fates unknown in Fire and Blood. There would be rumors of Nettles and Sheepstealer living deep in the Vale based on the Mountain Clan's stories about a fire witch and her dragon, but what happened to them would never be confirmed. It's still one of Fire and Blood's best mysteries, so it's a shame to cut Nettles, who could very well be the last ever dragon rider before Daenerys Targaryen. It's not impossible for Nettles to eventually appear and claim a dragon, but delaying her introduction by so long doesn't make much sense for the dance's story. Sadly, despite how unique of a character she is, it seems unlikely that Nettles will appear in House of the Dragon, while the show could change the book by having her claim either the Cannibal or Grey Ghost, the other two unclaimed wild dragons on Dragonstone. It seems her story is largely being given to Rhaena. It's not impossible for Nettles to eventually appear and claim a dragon, but delaying her introduction by so long doesn't make much sense for the dance's story.